as we start off with the speed events and then work our way towards giant slalom, which will be held on Sunday. And then we will wrap up this year's Alpine Skiing World Championships with the slalom on Tuesday. After the VI, or the visually impaired category, we move next to the women's downhill standing category. We'll kick things off with some great skiing. Frances Marie Baucher has won both of her heats in the downhill and the supergiant slalom. Andrea Rothfuss from Germany will be next, followed by the Netherlands' Anna Jochimsen, Russia's Inga Medvedeva. Maria Papulova from Russia will be following her. Stephanie Jalin from the States. Next, Petra Smartsova from Slovakia. Another American, Melanie Schwartz, will be skiing with bib number 11. First Canadian we will see will be Erin Latimer. She'll be wearing bib number 12. And Alana Ramsey, her teammate, will be following bib 13. And rounding out the women's combined standing category will be Romania's Laura Velanu.
Drew, what are we at for our official time right now? When are we expecting the race to start?
I got a 10:30 time as the official start. And now that we've seen both our forerunners and our POV camera, compliments of Canada's Robin Femi, it looks like we've got a long shot from our camera, which usually indicates we're just a couple of minutes away from the start.
Let the games begin.
That's right. Remember, as I mentioned, once we put our first category on the track, we're going to ask for you to keep it quiet. We'll bring the music down. We've already been in contact with the heli-ski operator. They're going to keep the choppers on the ground for this couple of minutes until we get these three teams taken care of, and then we'll keep the volume high and keep the music blaring.
Women's visually impaired category coming up next.
So you see, if you look up the slope, some final preparations being done by our slip crew. We want to send a huge shout out to all of our volunteers, the race organizing committee, members of the 2015 IPC Alpine Skiing World Championships Committee. Want to thank them for coming over from Europe and joining us here in North America for this week's events. And of course, Panorama Resort. They've done an incredible job getting the track prepared. All the snowcat time, the operators working overtime, making sure that this is one of the best pistes that these athletes will ever have an opportunity to run on. By my calculations, we're about 2 minutes to start. That is the start hill, so you can see on the Jumbotron right there.
And honestly, Drew, that might be one of the most exciting places to be on a racetrack. It's hanging out with all the other athletes, the staff, the physio, and just that anticipation and excitement to do something great. You know, you have an opportunity. Here we go, athletes on course from Russia, Alexander Francheva.
So yeah, folks, we're okay for a minute or so, and then we're going to get real quiet. Would anybody like a start list? All right, let's make some noise for the Russians as they cross the finish line. Alexandra Frantseva, her guide, Semen Plyaskin. Their time for the Super G portion of today's Super Combined, 1:30.68.
Looked like a solid run coming down there. Really clean turns. Really like carrying speed through this section on the top part of the track, just holding a good line. Great start to the day.
So this is the American duo of Danielle Umstead as the racer, her guide, Robert. All right, let's make them feel welcome, Canada. The Umsteads are in the house. Danielle and Robert with a 1:31.01.
That's competitive. That's less than a second off of our current leader.
Okay, let's see what the Aussies can do. Melissa Perrin, her guide, Andrew Bohr. Solid work on the first two events of this World Championships. See if they can deliver a third time.
Down the hill, go, down the hill.
Yeah, here they come. Aussies in the house. Melissa Perrin, her guide, Andrew Bohr. Their time, wow, 1:27.92 seconds. They killed that one, first place in the visually impaired category.
The first couple of days.
So I believe our standings are going to be pretty much what we've seen for the last couple of days. Josh, with the Aussies in first place, Americans in seconds, and the Russians in third. Unofficial results. So just checking with the information sheet that I have, all three athletes that just competed are B2 classified athlete. That includes athletes with a higher visual acuity than athletes competing in the B1 class, but they're unable to recognize the letter E from a distance of 4 meters. Moreover, athletes with a visual field of less than 10 degrees diameter are eligible for this sport class. So all three of the teams that are participating in the visually impaired category this week at the 2015 IPC Alpine World Championships are in the same B2 category. We've got a little bit of a break right now, about 3 minutes in between the end of the women's visually impaired category and the start of the women's super combined standing category. We'll kick that off with France's Marie Bochet, who's been a force the last couple of days. So normally what happens at this particular break, we give everybody an opportunity to get a course slip. We send our volunteer slip crews through to make sure that any ruts, not that there will be on this course. This thing is impeccable for racing right now, but they'll just smooth things out. If they have to do a re-dye, that blue dye that you happen to see that runs up on either side of the course is just an indicator of how the course is flowing. The athletes are allowed to drift to the outside. It's not necessarily the fastest line, but they're not held in between those two lines, but they must pass in between the gate panels. So as you can see by looking up the course, last gate before the finish line is blue. The one up above that is red. They've got to pass in between each pairing of red and blue gates all the way down. 37 of them in this particular course set.
Marie Boucher on course. She's a dominating force in this field and just in skiing in general. Marie is really pushing the line every day.
Yeah, she's been killing it this week, Josh, with strong performances in both the downhill on Wednesday and the Super G on Thursday. So I expect pretty much the same thing. You want to watch this girl arc this ski.
She's choosing a really aggressive line here. She's really just attacking as direct as one would on this set.
So this is the basketball.
Here. Nice clean turn. And it swings a little bit in here. Let's see how she manages the pressure. Nice, coming in and out of the light, but it looks like the snow's holding well. Over coach's corner. And now she should just be charging gas pedal all the way.
This is it, beautiful wide open set, this bottom series of about 8 turns, and Boucher has got the hammer down. Look at this, let's bring her home, everybody. 2 gates from the finish in the Super Combined Super G from France, Marie Boucher. 1:20.15. So that'll be the time to beat. We'll see what the rest of the gals in this category have got.
This may just be a new standard for the entire day. Marie Boucher just ripping that run up.
Pretty solid field that we've got here. Looking down, our next skier should be from Germany. I believe it's, well, I'm seeing a jump here.
It's Andrea Rothfuss from Germany, second place in both the events earlier this week.
So we're not quite sure. We've got word that maybe it's Erin Latimer. Okay, there was just a little bit of confusion, but I have to defer to my colleague because he's competed with these athletes for years. This is definitely Germany's Andrea Rothfuss. Good clean turns for Rothfuss as she heads towards the finish line. Staying over top of that outside ski, that's key. Josh, what do you think?
No hesitation here. You know Andrea wants this. You know she's skiing well, she's skiing fast. Solid run. Very good. Still going to be a very competitive time today. It's good enough for second at the moment.
1:23.29, the time for Germany's Rothfuss. Our third skier in this category will be Netherlands' Anna Jochemsen. Just to let you know, in Thursday's Super G, which is the event we're seeing right now, France's Marie Boucher was first. Germany's Andrea Rothfuss sits second. So currently that's how it stands. We're going to see whether the Netherlands' Jochemsen can actually jump into the mix. She was 6th on Thursday. Anything can happen.
She's the first skier in today's category coming down on one leg, and as Matt Hallett mentioned a few days ago, how challenging this lower part of the track can be when you're just running out of gas. So I know these athletes put a lot of energy into their fitness and training. Let's see how well it pays off today.
So Anna coming from the Netherlands, which is not known as Alpine skiing nation. So it's great to see her out on the track. And Dyson and Epp, she's obviously in the mix with a 6th place finish at the Super G the other day. Let's see what Jochimsen can bring to the table in today's first event in the two of this year's Super Combined here at Panorama Resort. The 2015 IPC Skiing World Championships. Here she comes, 1 gate from the finish, hammer down on the line. The finish time, a 1:28.03 for the Netherlands' Anna Jochimsen.
Great skiing for Anna today, just really pointing her down there, committing to her line. Real proud of her. That was an aggressive run. Good to see her come across the line. She is a slalom skier, so I'm sure she'll pick up a little bit of time in second run today.
That's right. For sure, you've got to take that into consideration, huh? Slalom skiers, they're at a little bit of a disadvantage in the speed event, so their bread and butter is coming starting at 2:30 this afternoon when we bring the slalom part of today's Super Combined into play. In the meanwhile, our 4th skier out of the start gate from Russia will be Inga Medvedeva. Inga came 8th on Thursday's Super G. We'll see how things fare for her today.
I want to know, how did you feel about your run there?
It's okay. The start was really good, and then I was way faster than I thought in the hard part, you know, around the tower. But it's okay.
Hey, that's good to hear, and I think it felt faster because you were going faster. Nice, good work today, Anna. Good luck this afternoon.
All right, packing big heat coming across the finish line. Skier number 7, that's Russia's Inga Medvedeva with a 1:30.40.
On course, we have Maria Papalova, also from Russia, and finishing 3rd in yesterday's Super G. So look for her to be a contender now.
All the ladies looking great so far this morning. Track seems to be in superb condition. We've had nothing but rave reviews from both the coaches and the athletes over the last couple of days about the track condition. Fair for everybody. It's hard. These athletes want it bulletproof because that way the track is consistent from top to bottom and there's no chance of any ruts or holes developing on the course. And that way it's fair from the first skier right through to the last skier in each one of our competitions. Again, Papalova coming 3rd at the Super G on Thursday. Let's see what she's got in the tank for today's portion of the Super Combined as she drills it heading towards the finish line. There she is.
Steamrolling across the line. That's a good time.
1:26.90 for the Russian.
We're going to tally it here, but I think that's good enough for 3rd position so far in the women's standing category.
Our next competitor from the United States, Stephanie Jallin. Steph was very competitive on Thursday with a 4th place. Looking to up that a little bit. There she is on course. Completely mind-blowing that these athletes on one leg can actually withstand the forces that are being applied through these turns. Remember, we're looking at speeds in excess of 90 kilometers an hour in the fast section.
And what just gets me with Stephanie is she is a single-leg skier, but she's also skiing with only one arm. She's in the category LW91, which represents the challenges she's facing coming down this track. I can't even imagine the forces that are being placed on the one side of her body. And yet she makes it look so easy.
Yeah, beautiful flow through the turns.
She's so committed here. Like, she is not holding anything back. This is really, really good to see.
Oh yeah, everybody, let's make a little bit of noise for this skier. Here she comes. 3 gates to go for the US's Stephanie Jallin.
Ah, beauty. And that's probably going to be the toughest part right there for her to stop at the line. Wow, good run, Steph.
1:28:43 for the United States, Stephanie Jallin.
Up next from Slovakia, we have Petra Smarzova, and she's on course.
Petra came 10th in the Super G on Thursday. Let's see what she's going to offer up today. So, Josh, we're noticing that the sun's coming in behind the clouds. Is that going to benefit or detract from the athlete's run? It still looks like the visibility is pretty good, but don't be deceived. Cameras are unbelievable in this day and age with the amount of light they can show you. So it's not exactly that bright on course. Think they're picking up the terrain as well as they did, say, on Thursday?
All right. Well, it's not holding anyone back this morning. People are sending it, so I think that cloud cover might give even visibility and perfect day for the racers.
$1:33.15 for skier number 10, Petra Smarzova from Slovakia. Next skier on course, we've got Melanie Schwartz, and then you get ready, Canada. Back-to-back skiers, Erin Latimer and Alana Ramsey will be coming right at you. But first, let's see what the Americans got.
I've actually had a chance to ski and train with Mel over the years, and to see this improvement today, to see her charging the line the way she is really impressive. This is a solid run. I think she's going to be happy with where she's at so far.
A lot of this is about risk and reward, huh? If you straighten out your line, you've got to make dead sure that your timing is perfect. If you get a little bit late moving into the following turn, you're going to find yourself slipping lower and lower and put yourself in jeopardy of missing a gate. Looks like she's hanging in there really well. Schwartz having a good run to this point in time. Smooth over that transition. Coming into view right now. Let's welcome the American to the finish line of the Super G component of the Super Combined event this Saturday here at Panorama Resort. Give it up for Melanie Schwartz on the line with a time of 1:35.51.
I think she's going to be happy with that run. Share a little update here on the top three for the women's standing category. So far we have in first place from France, Marie Boucher. Second place, Andrea Rothfuss of Germany. And in third place we have, where are we here? Maria Papalova out of Russia. That's our current top three for women's standing.
Erin Latimer from Canada on course. Erin came 7th in the Super G on Thursday, and I know she's hungry. I know she wants to pick the pace up. Look for an even stronger result today in the Super Combi.
Erin's a real strong skier, quite confident in speed, and she's just been a natural in her development in the last couple years. She's a young skier. She has a long and healthy career ahead of her if she wants.
Yeah, here she comes. Canada, let's make some noise for our girl. Seventh yesterday, or on Thursday, I should say. Here she comes on the line, Canada's Erin Latimer.
This is a good run for Erin.
1:29.60, the time for Erin. Remember, they're coming at you back to back. Little Canuck mania with our second gal, Alana Ramsey, on course right now.
On course, Canadian Alanza Ramsey, also a threat in speed. New to the team the last couple years, but really showing a natural inclination for pointing the skis down the hill.
Yeah, it takes a certain kind of individual to want to go this fast. Alana, I should say, was 9th in the Super G on Thursday. And we'll see how she can combine both the speed skiing and the technical demands of slalom in today's Super Combine. Just past coaches. Down into that little flat area before she comes over the final roll and drills it towards the finish line. Here she comes, everybody.
She knows the hill, she knows the track. She needs to be pointing it here. She needs to really just be committed and sending.
2 gates from the finish, here she comes. Yeah! Alana Ramsey on the line with a 1:31.04.
Close to her training partner, so I think she's going to be happy that 2 solid performances by 2 Canadians in a row. Real stoked right now.
Remember, this is just half of the Super Combi, right? 2:30, we race some slalom, so we're going to find out who can deal with the short skis. We've seen a lot of fast skiing the last couple of days. They're going to drop down from 208 centimeters, I'm going to say, down to about a 155, 160. So things shorten up. The skis get nervous and twitchy, and they want to turn real fast. Let's hope that the driver can hang on to the top of them. Our final skier of the women's Super Combined standing category from Romania, Laura Velenu. Okay, Velenu coming towards us right now, 5th in Thursday's Super G. Here she comes, the final competitor in the standing category in the Women's Super Combined from Romania. Bring her in, Laura Velenu.
Solid run, fast, coming back from the end of the pack to have a competitive time here for second run.
For sure, that's a 1:28.22 for Velenu.
So quick recap for women's standing category. Mira Popolova from Russia in 3rd. Andrea Rothfuss of Germany going into second run in 2nd position. And in 1st position, leading today's category, Marie Boucher of France. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here at the 2015 IPC Alpine Skiing World Championships, Panorama, BC. We have Canadian team member and all-round ripper, Erin Latimer, here with me. And I'm curious, Erin, how's the track today? How'd you feel?
I thought the track was pretty good today. It's a lot more open than the other Super G days, so it's you have more time to make the turns. I felt a lot more smooth throughout it, but I tried to have a different mentality going into it. The other days I've skied pretty rigid, and then when you come upon trouble gates, it kind of messes you up. So I tried to be more calm today, and so as a result, it felt a lot more smooth.
Erin, you were calm, you were smooth, you were fast. How was the surface? Is anything changing with the cloud cover and warmer temperatures today? Is the surface still firm? Can you really step on it?
I thought the surface was better than the other days. Coming down the past couple days, there have been a lot of icy spots in the bottom, but today it was an even surface throughout the whole track, so it was pretty consistent throughout.
Awesome. You excited for slalom this afternoon?
No.
All right, appreciate the honesty. I want to know one thing about Erin Latimer that maybe the crowd doesn't know about today. So is there anything that you want to share with our crowd today? How about your travel blog? Oh, no, your fashion blog. You've got a really interesting, well-written, very well choreographed, good photos on your little fashion blog, your little fashionista.
Everyone thinks it's a fashion blog, but it's just an all-around blog, so.
I just take notes when I'm shopping for my wife. I'm like, okay, what's trending right now? What's hot?
Yeah.
Erin, you know.
Well, that's one of my interests, but lately I haven't been really up to date. I've been living in Kimberley, British Columbia for the winter, so I haven't even been to a mall since.
Come on, we've got a Platzel that's better than a mall in Kimberley.
Yeah, so I need to update that blog. I'm falling behind.
Oh, there's some good shots. You got to go to the Danae Bell Studios. There's some have you been to Danae Bell Studios?
No.
You've lived in Kimberley and you did not go to Danae Bell Studios.
No, No, I just stayed at the hill.
It is high-end fashion. It is like internationally recognized, especially her jewelry, handmade jewelry. We're talking ski racing though, folks. This is fun. Thank you for your time, Erin. Really appreciate it. Good luck this afternoon.
Thank you.
All right. Canada's very own fashionista, Erin Latimer. So a couple of minutes break. Checking out the course, prepping things, switching things over. This is the third of 3 categories on the women's side. We now move to the women's super combined sitting category. 5 competitors, and Thursday was an unusual podium to say the least, Josh, with 1
Yeah, it doesn't
competitor
happen that
finishing.
often. We don't even like to talk about it, but every once in a while the entire field wipes out, doesn't make the finish, save for 1. And I expect a totally different race today. These ladies are charging. We've seen a lot of good skiing from, Claudia Loesch of Austria has really been attacking. She's had confidence all season, so this is nice to see her put it together and challenge current reigning defending champion of pretty much everything, Anna Schaffelhuber of Germany. To round out the category, we've got Annalena Forrest from Germany, who's been the German team has been a strong force in sit skiing for quite some time, since the Martin Braxenthaler days. So not a surprise to see the Germans putting in many contenders in today's race. Following that, we got Laurie Stevens of the United States. She is technically one of the soundest skiers, sit skiers at least, on the entire circuit, men, women included. And then finally, we got Momoko Murako from Japan, and again, another dynasty of sit skiers coming out of Japan. I watched Momoko warm up this morning, and she's not afraid. She's really excited to find the gas pedal and find the fastest way down the mountain. So really, each of these women is a contender in today's race. So we'll see how they play their cards in the first run of the Super Combined.
So Josh, obviously this category is one that you are very familiar with. The question I've got for you is, over the last 5 years, what kind of advances have they made in the technology? Because this is the one category where it's almost like a MotoGP or motocross must be having a huge influence on what's happening. I'm just looking at one of the sit skis right now. It's a coil-over shock. There's going to be a gas-oil combination in there. I heard Kimberly Joynes mentioning earlier on that she had her shock totally dialed up until Friday with the cold temperatures. Now it's got warm. Now she's thinking it's not right. What's happening in the world of sit ski suspension?
We're still in our infancy as far as I'm concerned. There's been huge gains in the last 20 years to the technology, but the reality is there's still a great room to improve. And, Japan, Germany, the United States, Austria have all been designing and innovating equipment to improve a rider's experience coming down the mountain. But I really think about the energy that we've put into it in Canada as well. The top secret Canadian rig, which we've been developing over the last 7 years. And I think we've taken some really good ideas from other concepts and then just melted it together to create a very versatile, high-end sit ski, thanks to Own the Podium. Looks like we got our first sit skier on course. Let's focus our attention on the track.
You bet. This will be Germany's Anna Schaffelhuber, the sole finisher on Thursday's ladies sitting Super G. So I know there are a lot of ladies in behind her that are flat out angry about how things went for them on Thursday. They're going to have a focus. They're going to want to drill it and redeem themselves in the Super G portion of today's Super Combined event.
Well, it looks like Anna's not holding anything back right now. She's really trying to put down the winning time and not really worried about falling. She's racing right now.
We mentioned the track, how consistent it is. It's actually, I think what caught a couple of the girls on Thursday was a little bit of a breakover right down in around here where there was a very icy turn. Okay. Consistent grip if you had your ski set up properly. Josh was mentioning he thinks that some of the girls may have been a little hesitant and then moved inside too quickly without getting good pressure on the ski, causing the ski to drift out. What are you seeing right now, Josh?
Yeah, I'm seeing Anna charging this lower half, but you really have to put 110% into this bottom part of the track because there is no terminal velocity. It is steep, it is challenging, there's a lot of terrain, but it is manageable at high speeds with today's set, so you really need to hammer down. Anna's putting down a good run, but will it be good enough today?
Into view, here she comes, everybody. The first in the super combined sitting category for the ladies. From Germany, Anna Schaffelhuber.
I think that's going to be a hard time to beat. I think she really sent it. She raced every part of that track today. A really strong run by Germany's Anna Schaffelhuber.
A 1:22 flat for Schaffelhuber. All right, here we go. Let's see what happens. The Austrians are going to have to deliver big time in this particular portion of the Super Combine. And a gal that can do it, Claudia Loesch, is on course.
What I'm seeing right here is Claudia's running a little bit deeper. She's really generating a lot of energy at the apex of the turn here because she's just driving so direct. And she wants this. Claudia's on fire this season, and she really wants this. Nice smooth transition coming over basketball there. Clean, you know, looking to try find the exit speed rather than just trying to get around smooth. She is aggressive.
So what you should see on course for the intermediate timing is if the athlete on the slope right now is in the lead, you'll see a green light.
Green.
And that's a green light right there. So let's watch the time and see how she fares in the bottom section of the course. We've got Austria's Claudia Loesch. Remember, she was denied on Thursday. Let's see what happens today in the speeds portion of the Super Combined here at Panorama Resort.
It is good enough to take the top spot so far, run one, women's sitting Super Combi Day.
Wow, Claudia laying down the gauntlet. Like I told you, the girls that didn't have good luck on Thursday have got a statement to make.
Wow. Good start, good start. So we were just noting here that Claudia's run was only a fraction of a second slower than Marie Bochet, women's standing. This is huge because Marie just does not hold back anything.
Really exciting. So for you folks that are watching on the screen, if you see the intermediate time pop up and it is green lit, then they are the fastest to that point. And that's obviously what you want to hold on to the entire way down the course.
So we got Annalena Forrest on track right now, and you'll notice her posture is a little bit different than the rest of the field. She's nearly in a standing position rather than in a sitting position in the sit ski, and it gives her a really good advantage to shift from turn to turn, but her balance point is just on a knife's edge.
Rolling really clean through the upper section. Let's see how she fares down through here. Annalena, the second of our Germans on course right now. And just what Josh said, each one of these skis a little bit different, very, very personal, and each one of the athletes adjusting to their specifications. Here she comes. We had a fast one from the Austrian. What's the German going to bring to the finish line? Annalena Forster.
Nice.
1:32.58 the time for Forster.
Up next from the United States, we have Lori Stevens. She could very well put together a hot run for us today. Great angles, really good form. If you've got a discerning eye for sit skiing and posture, you'll see that Lori really gets strong angles from the hips, keeps her shoulders over her ski, getting a lot of energy out of it. Smooth around basketball there, not a lot of spray out. Let's see if she starts to step on the gas pedal coming into coaches.
Absolutely mind-boggling how they can not only control the path of the ski, but also control how that suspension works as they load coming into the turn and how the shock releases as they exit the turn. Fantastic control by the skier.
It is a harmonious posture when you finally get your driver, the sit ski, and the ski all working as one. Looks like it's a little bumpy here in sections for Lori. Hard to tell from the big screen.
Lori Stevens from the United States, our next skier. Second to last, we've got one more to go after Lori. Let's see if Lori can put down a quick one.
Coming across the finish line, fighting for that bullet. Strong run. I'm sure she's going to be happy with that one.
1:27.33.
I got to know. I got Claudia Loesch here right now. I got to know, how are you feeling right now?
Yeah, I feel good. I mean, I wasn't quite satisfied with the upper part, but from the tower on, I had a pretty good run again. Yeah, and now we have to do slalom, but I'm definitely looking forward to that too.
Super happy for you, Claudia. I'd love to chat more with you, but we have our next racer on course from Japan.
Want to give Momo her props here. This gal can drill it as well.
She's really sending it right now. She is committing to that ski, trusting it's going to be underneath there when she literally throws it from side to side, because she's making big moves, looking to find all the speed she can bring down the hill.
Yeah, you have to imagine what it's like sitting in that sit ski, going as fast as these ladies are, and all of a sudden having that piece of equipment take flight. And you've just got to be patient. You've got to wait for it to come back into contact with the snow and hope when it lands. There, she's got to put it down, and she popped back up. There's a recovery for you. Woo.
Good balance, really bad spot to lose your speed coming into coaches. You really need as much energy down the hill as you can coming over this. It's a flatter section. There's 2 or 3 turns here, which is a lot of distance, that losing your speed ahead of it is no good. So that's going to be a tough one for Momoko.
That's right. It's very, very difficult to get that speed back up. There is no gas pedal. You got to rely on savvy and gravity. Here comes Momo. Let's make her feel welcome. From Japan, Momoko Muraka.
Oh, a solid time. She's got to be happy with that. And without that mistake, she would have been hunting. Claudia, how's the surface today? From a sit ski perspective, were you able to put everything into the mountain? Did you trust the hill?
It was in the downhill race, right? So it was a lot softer than in the downhill race and in the Super G 2 days ago. So yeah, it's easier to get on the edge and really do the turns properly.
Nice. Well, I like the sounds of that. I did an inspection this morning, and I felt it was going to be a great day for racing. Good luck this afternoon, Claudia.
Yeah, so things are changing temperature-wise, and the snow a bit grippier. Good thing, bad thing. Remember, we've got lots of racing to go here, and all categories, ladies and men, are competing on the same track. So there's every possibility that we're going to see some track deterioration as we get a little bit deeper into the men's categories. With the cloud cover, keeping things nice and warm, we may see a little bit of deterioration. So we'll have to wait and see whether or not that happens. Momo's in. Great recovery for Momo. So again, we have about 3 minutes before we move into our men's divisions. Men's super combined visually impaired will be the first category. So we're going to have to quiet things down. And we have a pretty full grouping here of 8 teams. And we'll kick things off with the U.S.'s Mark Batham and his guide, Cade Yamamoto. They will be followed by the Spaniard, Jan Santacana, and his guide, Miguel Galindo Garces, followed by the Slovakians, Miroslav Haros, and his guide, Maros Hudek. The Russians are next, one after the other, kicking it off with Valery Redkozubov and his guide, Evgeny Geroev. And after them, Ivan Frantsev and guide German Agrankowski. Got to mention that Frantsev stood on the top step of the podium on Thursday in the Super G, so he knows what that winning feeling is like here on the track at Panorama. We'll find out whether he's going to get back into the mix again. After the Russians, we've got another Spanish team with Juan Gabriel Gorse and his guide Javier Ferrer Ventura. Next, the Poles, Maciej Kretzel and his guide, Anna Ogarzinska. And we finish out the field with the Czechs, Patrick Hetmer and Miroslav Makala. So as I mentioned, 8 skiers in this category. And like we did with the ladies, we'd like you to keep things quiet. Communication coming in a couple of different forms. Most of the teams are using headsets inside the helmet. Looking over at Robin Femi right now. Robin, is that about right? Most teams wired in like this. Anybody using a speaker system on the back that you know of? So we do have that. The very last, I think they'd be the last skiers if that's correct. So we've got to be really, really quiet for them. We do have the cooperation of RK Heliski. They've kept the helicopters out of the mix, so it'll be quiet for them on that side of the valley. And we'll just have to be quiet here. Here comes our first team on course. All right, let's make a little bit of noise for the boys from the United States of America. Mark Batham, his guide, Kate Yamamoto, our first crew across the line in the men's visually impaired and the super combined at this year's 2015 IPC Alpine Skiing World Championships right here at Panorama Resort. Next team on course, Spaniards, Juan Santacana, Miguel Galindo Garces, his guide. All right, let's welcome them to the finish line, the Spaniards, Santa Cana and Galindo.
Great first run, fast time, right in there with women's leader Marie Boucher and Claudia Lausch in terms of overall time. Even though they're not measured against each other, the insider might know that's good time. That's the way the track is running right now. I'm missing somebody off of the start list, Mac Marcoux. We talked a little bit about it earlier on. Has a little bit of a, I'll let him tell you after these next racers.
So our next pairing, Miroslav Haros and Maros Hudik from Slovakia on course.
These boys are hunting.
Yeah, good skiing from the Slovakians. Miroslav Haros and his guide, Maros Hudik.
Mac, you know, I got you right now. You're the inside knowledge on men standing visually impaired category. Who are you picking today? Who do you think is going to be fast in super combined?
No, I think that, yeah, that's what I'm worried about. No, I think that everyone's kind of strong with Super G and slalom, but if I had to put some money on it, I'd put it on Valerie. Yeah.
Cool. You know, we're just thinking about who's got to be the most versatile skier today. I put Mac on the spot there. I'm sorry, Mac.
Well, here's his pick coming at us right now. Valery Rydkozubov and guide Evgeny Geroev from Russia. On the line, our first Russian team in this category, Valery Redkozubov and his guide Evgeny Geroev. 1:24.46. Remember, this is just the one of two elements in today's Super Combined. We've got Super G happening right now at 2:30 this afternoon. Everybody goes back up to the slalom start. Our next pairing, our second Russian duo, Ivan Frantsev, his guide, German Agranovsky. All right. Great skiing from our second pairing of Russians, with Frantsev and Agranovsky across the finish line with a great time, a 1:18.90.
Which is our new leader, which puts Mark Batham, United States, into second position. And third would be Miroslav Haras from Slovakia, currently first run Super G.
Spaniards on course. We've got Juan Gabriel Gorsa-Yepes and his guide, Javier Ferrer Ventura.
Nice one, Drew. Good pronunciation.
What's going on?
The Spaniards across the finish line. Looking pretty fast through there. Juan Gabriel Gorsa-Yepes, his guide, Javier Ferrer Ventura. Their time, 1:20.87.
That looks like is good enough for fourth position coming out of first run. We have two more skiers, men's visually impaired. On course from Poland, Maciej Kreziel, guide Anna Ogazinski.
Was pretty close, Josh.
Yeah, I'm pretty rough with the. I'll let you take the big ones from here, Drew.
You got it. Check it out, everybody. Look at the course from the blue gate to the finish line. You see that shiny stuff? That's glaze. That's where you want to be. That's fast. All right, give it up for the boys from Poland, Maciej Kreziel and Anna Ogarzinska. (1:24.28). Very respectable time. Where does that put them, Josh?
Whoa, yeah, how many do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I believe that might be fifth or sixth of the 7 that have gone so far. I'm not a math man, don't trust me, everything's unofficial till the end of the day.
Final pairing in the men's super combined visually impaired category. From the Czech Republic, Patrick Hetmer and his guide, Miroslav Makala.
Where can you start here?
There they are, our final pairing in the men's super combined visually impaired category. From the Czech Republic, Patrick Hetmer, his partner, Miroslav Makala. Their time, wow, for the Super G portion, a 1:19.97.
That's hunting, Drew. They're in there. Is that top time or very close? No, 1:18 is our top time so far. So we have another set of contenders coming into the second run. We have a few minute break in between categories as we finish men's visually impaired, moving into men's standing. I got Mac Marcoux here, and like me, we're both chomping at the bit, looking at this track, wanting to run it, wanting to feel the joy of pointing it straight down this beautiful, perfectly catered hill from the Panorama crew. Looks like a lot of fun, but why are you hanging out down here with me, Mac?
Last week in training, we were running Super G, and I fell and ended up tweaking my knee with a moderate tear.
You tweaked your knee last week, and you ran the downhill and won, and then you ran the Super G, and were very, very close with a silver medal finish. With what? With a sore knee? What did you do, Mac?
I fell.
I understand he's Canada's secret weapon. He's not going to reveal too much right now, but I know Alpine Canada, written by Mac Marcoux, is a full press release that'll be coming out today, so follow that one online. We don't need to give everybody all the details. Really proud of you, Mac, for a great performance that you put together in downhill and Super G with your bro BJ, hitting the big times with your bro. Yeah, I know that meant a lot for you guys to run here on home soil, do Canada proud, and do it with your bro. Who's just a trooper and a great skier, forerunner today. And then you had the confidence and courage in yourself, Mac, to pull the plug because you're young and you got many years ahead of you, and you get to cheer on the rest of the team. Anything else that you want to say before I let you go, Mac?
Yeah, let's go Canada.
All right.
That makes perfect sense to me. Here we go, folks. Unofficial top three for the men's super combined visually impaired category. In third spot, with a time of 1:19.16 from Slovakia, Miroslav Haras and his guide, Maros Hudik. In second place, with a time of 1:18.97 from the United States, Mark Batham and Katie Yamamoto as the guide. In first spot, with a finish time of 1:18.90 from Russia, Ivan Frantsev and his guide, German Agranovsky. Oh, this is setting up to be a good afternoon, Josh. We're going to have some fun stuff on the short skis.
You know, we're almost done this break. I'm looking over at Mark Rubenstein. I know I want to chat with him, president of Alpine Canada, but it'll have to wait for the next category, Mark, because we've got our first man on course, men standing. He's got a lot of love in this crowd. I can hear it and feel it.
Does he ever? And he could definitely do some damage. This is the Austrian, Marcus Salcher. Marcus came
always
fourth.
a threat every day.
Yeah. Came fourth. He came fourth. Oh, yeah, look at this. He is on the panels. Man's got some business to take care of.
He's charging, he's running deep. He wants to make up from that fourth place finish in the Super G, and he has all the ability in the world to make it happen. Clean around basketball, a little bit of a spray, but a lot of pressure on that turn. Course really starts swinging down here, so the guy's got to work it. A little bit of a slick surface coming down into coaches, but look like he's having no problem. Perfectly tuned skis, charging the line hard. Coming over a little blind here as you come over, coaches. No problem from his inspection. He knows where to be. He's on the bottom leg of this track. He's got to be hunting right now. He's got to be driving hard. Bring him down, guys.
Here he comes, the first of a very deep field in the men's super combined standing category from Austria, Marcus Salter. Wow, a 1:14.79.
I didn't think that would be possible. That is an incredibly fast time by Marcus Salter. We'll see if the whole men's field is going to be bringing the fury or if Marcus just laid down the run of a lifetime. Only time will tell.
This is going to make it fun right now. All the course radios are buzzing back up to the start, relaying the information that they've got. Coaches telling the line that Salter took, the finish time that he's sitting with right now, and that's going to get guys...
Up next, Kiwi Adam Hall, strong Super G skier. A little bit of bad fortune earlier on in the week, but good to see him bringing it back.
Yeah, Adam had a bit of a rough go. Well, watch this guy drill it.
Yeah, Hall's going to be sending it in a Super G. Although he is a slalom specialist, I don't think he's going to try and leave anything left on the Super G track today to give himself the biggest margin for the slalom portion of today's event.
Okay, Josh.
2015 IPC Alpine Skiing World Championships at Panorama.
Josh, correct me if I'm wrong, but he's got 2 outriggers and 2 skis, right?
Yeah, and his skis are actually sewn together. He's got a string on his tips so that they don't split apart. He just doesn't have that muscle control to hold them from flopping from left to right coming down there. Ties them together. I've seen the string come off. That's not fun. But today, he's putting it together. He's charging to the line. Bring him down, folks.
Here he comes. Redemption for New Zealand's Adam Hall on the line.
Ah, that's a solid run. I'm sure he's going to be happy with that.
One minute, 20 seconds flat for New Zealand's Adam Hall.
In 2 skiers, we'll have a Canadian, our first of the bunch, Kirk Schornstein. But right now, we have Martin Weers from Austria on course.
Martin finished in 18th spot in Thursday's Supergiant Slalom. I know he'd like to move up a few places in preparations for this afternoon's slalom. Let's find out what he's got to offer this morning here at Panorama. Bird skiing really clean through here, looking down the start list, peppered with Austrian racers. So they all train together. They all saw, or they've all heard what Salter put down as his race time. Let's find out what his countryman Wirtz can do. On the line, Martin Wirtz with a 1:21.86.
Solid run. Adam Hall, my man, how are you, homie? New Zealand's very own Adam Hall, incredibly strong Super G run. You have a lot more in the tank for slalom. Are you happy with this morning's run?
Yeah, you know, I think the conditions are an amazing condition. It's very consistent, and you know, happy with my run. Happy to be back on the race program, and excited to put down a solid slalom run this afternoon. So pumped.
Pumped for you, Adam. Always, man. Every time. Good work this morning. I look forward to this afternoon.
All right, Canada, our first Canuck.
Kirk knows this hill well. I've trained him on it for years. It's in the back of his mind, so he can just charge today. He knows where the speed is. Let's find it. Nice and smooth over basketball. I would argue one of the smoothest turns over that today. Just real clean, finding speed. He knows he's got to be hungry like a wolf down here. He's got to be hunting.
You got to get over that outside ski early, get that ski carving. Remember, these skis are designed to make great big long turns, and sometimes the set requires that you tweak it up a little bit and shorten the radius. So the guys and gals have got to work really hard to get their equipment performing at its best. Let's find out what Schornstein's got to bring.
Great spot. This feels good, ladies and gentlemen. Make noise. Bring them home. Oh,
Kirk
yeah, he's fighting for that line. Great run by Schornstein. Solid time. He's got to be happy with that.
A 1:21.14 for Canada's Kirk Schornstein.
Way to throw down on home soil, homie. Nicely done, Shorenstein. Up next, one of our favorites, Alexei Bugiev from Russia. This guy's like a cat coming down the mountain. It is phenomenal to see the way he works the terrain.
Taking the victory in Thursday's Supergiant Slalom, so I know he's very comfortable with the track, Josh. I expect great things from Alexei again today. How is he as a slalom skier?
It's unbelievable. He's just so athletic, just jumping up and down, tearing the hill apart. Coming over basketball, looks clean. He's chose a good line, you know. He's really trying to pinch off as much terrain as possible, being fast.
Okay, can really start to feel some heat in that sun. That's going to definitely impact the track. We're in good shape for the slalom because it's on skier's left-hand side of the course, so it'll move into the shadows pretty early.
These aren't glorious conditions coming in, Drew, but you're right. It is important to know that your tech has chose the right ski, the right base grind, the white wax to handle the varying conditions coming down this hill today.
Looks like the Russians got a fast one going. Let's welcome him to the finish line. Alexei Bugiev. Ho!
Solid time today. It appears that would be good for second position. Marcus Salter really throwing down the gauntlet this morning with the 1:14. Looks like that'll be a hard time to beat. Looks like on course we have Christoph Bernhard Schneider of Austria. These guys aren't holding back. This is a perfect track, solid deck, and it has all the potential in the world to really just step on it.
That's right. This situation that's occurring right now, this particular grouping of skiers, the track is developing that glaze on it. So that is very, very fast part of the course to get on. If you could see that glaze and get on top of it, you're going to be like lightning in a bottle. Let's see what our next competitor, Christoph Bernhard Schneider from Austria, can do. 10th on Thursday. Let's see if he can better that result. Just looking over at the Austrian, Marcus Salcher. I wonder if he's worried. Does he look worried? No, he's chatting up a Canadian girl. He doesn't look worried at all. Okay. Let's see what his teammates got to bring down to the finish line. Let's bring him home. Austria's Christoph Bernhard Schneider. What's he got for us? A 120.09.
Not taking top spot, but a very strong performance there. Up next, Mitch Gorley of Australia. This kid's incredibly athletic. He comes down the hill with such energy. It's always a treat to watch Mitch send it. We saw him in the downhill, had a bit of trouble, blew his shoe, but show us how good he is by skiing off on one ski a la Bodie Miller style. On course now, Mitch Gorley from Australia.
We talked to Mitch on Thursday, and he actually had given some consideration to continue skiing on one ski, and then he thought better of it. So Mitch was 5th in the Super G on Thursday. And after the downhill, he is definitely hungry to better that. After that, we'll see, after Mitch, we'll see Cédric Amafroy-Broissat from France, Romain Ribou from France, and then Hiraku Misawa from Japan. There's that long shot. That tells us he's coming close. Look at this. Pinning it. Beautiful turns by Mitch Gorley. Visibility absolutely cannot get better than this right now. He's backlit. He can see every bump and ripple in the track, and he's going to bring it home right now. There you got him. Australia's Mitch Gorley with a finish time of 1:18.77. He's in the hunt, everybody.
Got to be happy with that. And like I said, Mitch is one of the most athletic and energetic skiers on the mountain, so I think slalom is something that we can watch and pick up a little bit of time in. Up next in France, Cédric Amafroy-Broissat.
Cédric had a 17th place finish on the Super G on Thursday. Looking to better that on his way into the slalom. Do you know anything about Cédric's slalom capabilities? No, huh? So we're going to have to wait for this afternoon to find out how he does. Looks solid here. Move over basketball. Now he's on to the old-timer run, which is the run that you're seating directly at the bottom of. We'll find out what he's got to offer up at this lower section of the course at Panorama Resort on this beautiful race-ready Saturday in the picture-perfect parcels of southeastern British Columbia. Here comes the Frenchman, Cédric Amafroy-Broissard. Got to stay strong on that outside ski, grabbing that chuck every chance he's got. Here he comes. Disons bienvenue.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is a good run for Cedric. Super high blazement. What a great day we have. The sun is shining. The course workers have given us, the volunteers have provided for us an opportunity to showcase the world's best at their very best. We love the volunteers. Thank you for making today happen.
1:21.64 the time for Cédric. His countryman,
his teammate on course, also from France, Romain Ribot, and his crowd is pumped right now. Let's bring him home. He's coming off the 4th tower pitch with a lot of speed, really charging that Daytona turn there. Coming into a little bit of a section to catch your breath, but not very long before you come up and over basketball. How will he run it? Smooth and tight. Little bit of spray coming out, but not so bad. Has speed coming down. He's making his way through a slightly icier section right now. The light's going to come in and out. A couple shadows maybe to play with over some slippery sections. Down over coaches. Decent speed. I think something happened. I don't know. You know what? That corner is blind. I think maybe the variation of the light played a trick on him or something, but he has gone off track. Lost his line over the blind roller. Too bad for Romain.
Remember, folks, with the Super G component, as on Thursday, athletes have a 1-hour window to inspect. They do not get a training run, so they've had a chance to inspect this between 9 and 10 o'clock this morning, I believe. And that's it. So they've been sitting at the top doing their best to keep their memory banks fluid and warm and remember each and every bump and roll. There is tons of terrain up there, Josh, that you know very well yourself.
You know what I'm seeing there? It looked like he kind of went into the shadow, which of course is going to be icier there. Lost his balance a little bit, tried to recover from that, and then when he was picking himself back up, he lost his orientation. So it does look like that light and surface played a bit of a role in that one. Tough luck.
They are rolling. They're probably through there at 80 kilometers an hour, so they're carrying big speed, making big turns, and having to deal with the changes in lighting and the changes in terrain at the same time. Our next skier on course from Japan, Hiraku Misawa.
Very athletic. His prowess coming down the hill is always just a treat to watch. He really puts it over. Trusts the ski. Very dynamic skier.
One thing that impresses me about Hiraku is his ability to move forward onto the front of that ski tip at the start of the turn to get the ski to start to bend and get that arc started early. Beautiful, clean turns through that section here at Panorama. The crowd goes quiet. I think we should change that up, Josh. I think we should make some noise.
Make some
He's
noise
coming to the finish line. Let's say, hey! Hiraku Misawa from Japan, 1:19.92.
That's a great run, and historically, single-leg skiers tend to be a dominating force in slalom, so we can expect big things from Hiraku this afternoon. Now, the slalom today will be run on the same track, so the lower portion of the Super G track will play host to this afternoon slalom. It isn't the steepest track these athletes have ever faced. That will play an advantage for some abilities over others.
Two Russians back-to-back. The first one will be Alexander Alabiev. He came 9th on Thursday's Supergiant Slalom, followed by countryman Alexei Vetrov. Alexei came 11th. So both those boys looking to improve on those results in the first portion of today's Super Combined at the 2015 IPC Alpine Skiing World Championships. Here he comes, Alabiev. Beautiful low chuck coming through there. managing to switch back and forth between the aerodynamics and that extended long leg to get the ski to hook up and arc around. Here he comes, bring him home. Alexander Alabiev from Russia at the finish line with a time of 1:19.29.
Up next, we have Alexander Vetrov, also from Russia. Remember, we're not even a year, we're actually exactly a year out from Sochi. These guys are running the afterglow. There's still so much positive momentum in their team that, of course, they're going to be skiing fantastic for us today.
So the one downside that occurs with having your athletes run back-to-back is there's no opportunity to send a course report back up, which typically happens. We normally have a finish line coach from the team with a radio. The athlete comes through into the finish area and then sends a course report back up. Well, these two guys obviously don't have that opportunity because they're starting one behind the other. Vetrov on course right now. Let's find out how he did. As I mentioned, 11th in Thursday's Super G. We'll find out what he's got to offer up in today's Super G component of the Super Combined. Nice and smooth, a good turn, starting the turn early up above the gate. Maintaining pressure over the outside ski.
Let's show them some good old Canadian hospitality and bring on down Alexander Vetrov, Russia.
Here he comes on the finish line. Vetrov's time, 1:20.41.
It's a solid run. And I need to clarify here, at the 2015 IPC Alpine Skiing World Championships, we have an international crowd today. I'm seeing a lot of contingents from France, from Austria, and all the countries here really supported, and the Germans here to support alongside our Canadian fans. And I see some US flags loud and proud. I see that. This is happening. We have the world showing up to support the athletes at the highest level competition, only second to the Paralympics.
That's right. Well, they heard there was going to be a party this week at Panorama, so naturally the word got out, and they're all here looking for a good time. And they're seeing a fast time over the course of the last few days. Who we got on the course right now?
On course, Thomas Phil of Switzerland, who was third in Super G a few days ago.
Thomas having a little bit of a rough go in the downhill on Wednesday. Came through one of the small compressions on course, caught him by surprise, and went into that red bean netting. None the worse for wear, maybe a little damaged pride, was back to compete in a big way on Thursday, and I know he's hungry to show well in today's Super Combi.
This guy's a fierce competitor. Remember, in Super G, he got flagged in his first run, so he had to go back to the top, recompose himself, get back to that point of energy and execution. And here he comes down the line. He's bringing that positive momentum into today's run.
Nice and smooth for Switzerland's Thomas Phil on the line with a time of 1:19.37 seconds.
Is that good enough for top three? We need a recap. I need to have a look at the timing board here and give you guys a little bit of a recap on our top 5 men standing so far. Third in Australia, and he just slid away from me, Mitch Gorley with a solid time, 1:18.77. From Russia, Alexei Bugiev at 1:16.21. And Marcus Ulcher, first out of the gate this morning, charging down a 1:14.79 in first so far. Let's focus back on the hill to Thomas Groscher of Austria. I know Austria's on course because the crowd's going wild.
2 more competitors out of that Austrian juggernaut. Groscher finishing 7th. Is on course right now. His countryman and teammate, Matthias Lansinger, will be next. He was 2nd on Thursday. So we've got some firepower on the hill right now from Austria.
We just can't forget how demanding this track is for the one-legged athletes. And to see him come down right now, Thomas Groscher, attacking the bottom half of the course. His training is paying off. He's given everything he has.
Grabbing the tuck over the last couple of meters, Austria, Thomas Groscher with a finish time of 1:19.54.
Actually, yeah, I'm like, wait a minute.
All right, the Lancey fan club ready to make some noise. He was second on Thursday.
Lancey is definitely in the mix today. He has an ability to choose line as well as any athlete on the circuit. Coming from the able-bodied World Cup circuit, had an accident that left him a below-the-knee amputee and responded incredibly well, came back into the sport in practically no time. More importantly, let's see what he's doing right now. He is charging this mountain.
Beautiful fluid Super G turns from Matthias Lanzinger. Watch this section. Very little snow being kicked up. Getting that ski hooked up early and working it through that mid-arc of the turn. Maintaining speed, maintaining focus. He sees the finish line now, everybody. He's coming right at us. He was second on Thursday. What's he going to do today in the Super G component of the Super Combi? Matthias Lanzinger on the line with a time of 1:16.07.
This is a fast run. Puts him into third position for the time being. I might need to check my board. It looks to me like he's into second position right now. It is so tight, ladies and gentlemen. The top three, the top five, they're all hunting. Great run by Lancey.
And look who's coming next. Japanese skier, Gakuta Koike. Gakuta just missing the podium on Thursday, finishing fourth, which means he's got the straight goods to get up there. Let's find out how he fares in the speed component today. What do you know about Gakuta Koike, Josh?
I know he's a gentleman and a scholar, and there's few of us left. Actually, I don't know Koichi that well, but he's been around the circuit for a while. Strong skier, really friendly presence on the circuit. Good man, and it looks like he's putting together a very strong run right now. This course is incredible. Like, it's letting all the athletes show us what they can do.
Okay, here he comes on the way down from Japan. The Japanese skier, Koike Gatoa, 1:22.10.
Up next from Canada, we have our very own Braden Luscombe in the start. He can hear us, folks. He can feel us. Let's make some noise.
All right.
Braden puts in the time. He puts in the work. He is very strong, very determined, excellent addition to the team. Great skier. He does have great hair, but I'm more focused on the screen right now. I'm not sure what I just saw. It looked like a little bit of a snow cloud going to what, but I'm not sure if he started. The camera feed came in at a difficult time for me here.
Okay,
I'm
we're
hoping
just
he's
gonna
still in
have
the
to hold
start
on.
house. I'm not sure what I'm seeing here, ladies and gentlemen.
It looks like he's off to the side.
The names come up for Braden. It looks like maybe some of the forces were a bit strong for him, and he's washed out. But he's skiing down on his own, which is really good news. But certainly a bit of a disappointing moment for Braden because he is such a strong athlete. He is a hunter, ladies and gentlemen. He is a contender, and when he puts down a good run, he's in there with the best in the world. A podium threat in my books.
A tough pill to swallow for Braden Luscombe. Hoping to be able to compete in this afternoon's slalom portion. Obviously, if you do not finish your Super G run in the morning, you are ineligible to race slalom in the afternoon. So tough luck for Canada's Braden Luscombe.
Up next, we have another Austrian. I'm leaving the pronunciation of the last name to you. Give me a lesson here, Drew. We have Nico
Pajanschitz.
Yes! The Austrians know him well. And wow, right away, I'm seeing a guy that is just attacking this track, getting big angles, looking for as much speed as he can, really running a deep line here, leaving nothing behind.
through the sweeper. Let's see how the setup is. Big, long arc, beautiful camera angle there to see that entry and exit into the turn on basketball. Here comes Pajancic. Nico in the hunt. Watch him through the section leading into coach's corner as he makes the move right in here. A little bit of sun into shade, but it shouldn't be too much of a bother for the athletes. They're moving through there so quickly. It's all on reflexes and brilliant sunshine the rest of the way down this course at Panorama. Here he comes, the Austrian Nico Pajancic on fire. 2 gates to the finish in his tuck, right to the line. Finish time for Nico, a 1:20.89 seconds.
That's a fast time. There is a bit of a gap between the top 3 in this, but he's in there. You know what I'm seeing today? I'm seeing performance after performance. So many consistent runs coming down the mountain today. Everybody has an opportunity to attack. This is thanks to our volunteers by the hundreds coming together to make sure that we have the optimal track, optimal conditions to showcase the 2015 IPC Alpine Skiing World Championships here in Panorama, BC, Canada.
Really interesting. So I'm going to throw back to you one more time, Josh, for the upcoming category, one you know very, very well, men's super combined sitting. Are the techs doing any adjustments to their equipment right now with the heat that we're feeling right now?
Absolutely. Techs will be making decision moment to moment based upon how the conditions are in accordance to the forecast that they prepared for. On course, we have Martin France of Slovakia.
Martin, pretty good on Thursday with an 8th place finish. Anytime you can pop into the top 10, that's a good day at the office. Obviously, Martin would like to better that result today as he looks towards the slalom component this afternoon. Obviously, not only the sit skiers and their technicians looking at the changing conditions out here, but also all of the other techs are looking at wax choices, looking at base grinds and everything else. It all changes up as things get warm. Here he comes, the Slovakian approaching the finish line, Martin France. 1:19.39.
I feel like he's got to be happy with that run. That is a fast time. He's playing ball right now. Coming back this afternoon for slalom. Up next from the Netherlands, we have Thomas Mulder. Young guy, strong athlete, really determined to make an impression on the circuit. Our next single-legged skier from the Netherlands, Thomas Mulder.
So I don't have a result for Thomas from Thursday's event. That either means that he didn't go or DNF did not finish Thursday. But I got to look down the list one more place after the gentleman from the Netherlands goes. We got a good buddy of yours, Josh. Who's starting?
Our very own Canadian Matthew Hallett. I know he's got a lot of family here and a lot of support in the crowd today. Skiing with Matt, I know he can be a contender not only on this hill, but in super combined. He's one of the athletes that really does have a diverse portfolio of abilities. And now focusing back on the screen, great save, great athleticism by Thomas Mulder. Unfortunately, that looks like it cost him a lot of time. Just dumping speed before coach's corner over this section where you really need to be fast. It's good to see that he's still on course. That was an incredible save by Thomas Mulder.
That's right. Great deal of respect needed to be sent out to this guy for fighting it and staying on course when it's just as easy to kick out and hang your head and slide down the finish. Whoa, a little bit of a speed wobble there.
Crossing the line. This is a great... Whoa.
Whoa.
Spectacular finish by Thomas Mulder.
You can be louder than that, everybody. That was unbelievable.
He is hanging it on the line for your entertainment. What a great, thrilling performance. I'm pretty sure he was just getting us fired up for our very own Matt Hallett on course, hanging it out there right now. I can see that Matty is pushing. And you can see the forces here. He's coming into a compression off of the steeper section, coming into basketball. There's a ton of force. He's doing over 100 kilometers an hour. I can't even imagine what kind of squatting power you need to have in order to stand up to it. He's waving to us. He's okay. Our camera's going back to it. Just seeing right there, coming into the flats. It is one can't even imagine the forces put onto his body there. Smart move for him to put it up, saving his body, saving his knee. Matt knows how to push the line. Bummed to see that spin out there.
Josh, I remember a couple of years ago, right there where the camera's pointing, you ran into a little bit of bother as well, huh? Tough through there, very fast and deceiving terrain.
Yeah, you know, you think it levels off and it's an opportunity for you to catch your breath before coming over basketball and then really attacking this bottom section. And yeah, I got tangled up there. Actually, it traumatized me. I came into a flat section, hit a little bit of a ripple, and front flipped over the B netting and was lucky to be all right. More importantly, our man, this is Braden coming down right now. Braden Lescombe, not his day, unfortunately, but he put down a good performance.
Way to go, Braden.
All right, B.
In next, we got just making his way down the side. It looks like Matt might hang with the coaches and watch our last skier of the Super Combined men's standing category. That will be a good buddy of yours, the American, Ralph Green.
My pal, Ralph Green. This guy, he is really the definition of athleticism. He works hard on snow, off snow. Great guy, really good ambassador for the circuit, and been around for a while, so he has experience. Never know what he's going to put down today. And after Ralph shows us what he can do, I'm looking at him right now. I'm going to invite over Mark Rubenstein from Alpine Canada, the president of Alpine Canada Alpine, and ask him how he's feeling about this week's event. I know he's put a lot of energy in it. Looks like Ralph Green is a pole, so I'm going to invite Mark over now as we have a little bit of a break so that the course workers can prepare us for our final category today at the 2015 IPC Skiing World Championships. Final category today, men's sitting super combined, which will lead us into this afternoon's slalom portion. Mark, how are you, buddy?
I feel like I'm tanning in St. Moritz.
You're tanning in St. Moritz.
Yeah. Except this Panorama even better.
It is even better because it's quieter, it's more intimate, and arguably the terrain is just as good, maybe better.
And you're here.
Oh, come on, Mark. I'd be in St. Moritz if that's what it was. That sounds like a nice place to be. Thank you, Mark.
We're doing great, and we're obviously all happy to be here and having an amazing time.
Yeah, no, it's odd, Mark. You have to have the microphone right resting on your chin in order for it to pick up out here. The crowd's too loud.
Let me talk louder.
Mark, you must be proud. This is an incredible event. The first time North America has played host to the IPC Alpine Skiing World Championships. First time in North America, Panorama right in our backyard, right beside the head offices for Alpine Canada. It's a proud day.
It's proud for our athletes, proud for our staff, proud for the entire organization. Para-Alpine team, rock stars of Alpine Canada. And to be in our backyard and be able to celebrate their achievements is a dream come true.
Really is a celebration of athleticism. Thanks again to all the volunteers and sponsors that have allowed us to have a venue that is perfect. Again, in my short career, 7 years on the alpine skiing circuit, I've never seen a track this solid. The deck that these athletes are playing with, phenomenal.
Panorama is an amazing partner for Alpine Canada. They have been for many years. We're looking to grow that partnership, and I think events like this that are world-class demonstrate what two great organizations can do together if they collaborate. So hats off to Panorama and hats off to the
Hats off to Panorama and their volunteers. And you know what, guys, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure that you're just bubbling on the inside right now, Mark. Big day for Alpine Canada. I'll tell you a little more about what's happening in the world of racing. But on course, Johan Taberlet of France, real threat in men's super combined.
Johan's sticking in a 13th place finish in the Super G on Thursday. We'll find out what he's got in store for us right now.
This Frenchman is fearless. He is confident. He's coming to us off of an able-bodied racing career. So he really knows how to find the fastest line. And he is, you know, charging it. And that is a slippery section. What we saw there was that is going into the shade. It's getting a little bit of flat light. And icy, too. The surface is changing. This could be a real challenge for the category coming at the end of the day.
That's right. You remember we saw that with the ladies on Thursday. The sun dropped behind the clouds or got in behind the trees, and that glaze that is great when you can see it comes into play, and it can be devastating when you can't.
We're hoping that relationship between coaches on the course and athletes in the start is at a level of communication that they can really trust the changes that are happening moment to moment, run to run. And my success is a derivative of the values that we have and the trust and relationship that I had with my coaches at Alpine Canada. I was very lucky in my career. Up next from Germany, we have George Kreider, who is very much a threat in this category. There's a lot of hunters in men's sitting sit ski. Let's see what George has for us today. He's in the green. This is good. Mind you, he's going to be the first finisher. I know it. So far of our two competitors, men sitting.
Okay, Jörg Kreider from Germany is on course right now. Our second skier in the men's super combined sitting category. After him will be the U.S.'s CDY, Christopher Devlin Young, who came 15th in Thursday's Super G. Meanwhile, back on track, we've got the German. Let's find out how he negotiates this section. Right in there.
He's
Gotta be
hungry.
clean.
He's had a great season. There's a lot of momentum behind this young athlete, and he is determined to continue that German legacy of success in the sit ski category. Not holding anything back here. He knows you need to charge the bottom part of this track, and he is pointing it straight down the hill. He's got good speed right now.
Kreider in good shape. 3 turns from the finish. Here he comes. Watch this, straight lining.
Giving the crowd something to cheer about. Very solid run. Good time, right up there, some of the fastest men today. I know he's going to be happy with that because he can ski slalom very, very well.
1:16.93, the finish time for Germany's Jörg Kreider. All right.
On course, and it looks like a big scuff of snow causing one of the course workers to run. I certainly hope that was not Christopher Devlin Young. It's hard to tell from this camera angle, but it would look like that maybe Chris just got caught up in some of that loose snow. So bummer for Chris Devlin Young. You know where I was going a little bit earlier when I had Mr. Mark Rubenstein, president of Alpine Canada Alpine, with me, is getting really excited for Panorama. Yes, for hosting us, because this is a great event. Panorama is host for Manny Osborne Parody World Cup today in Norway, claimed 2nd place. Huge. Manny is the man. Manny's been paying his dues. Manny's had a couple of good falls in the last few weeks. Didn't let that knock him down. Came back for his 3rd medal in Kitval, Norway. 2nd place today. Also at World Juniors, our Canadian women were 2nd, 3rd, 4th today. Unbelievable day for Alpine Canada. What a celebration here at Panorama. A good day. Now we're watching the lights turn out right now. These clouds have piled in. I think this is good for the surface, but difficult for the visibility. How will the athletes adjust? How are their coaches giving them feedback coming to the top? This is really going to be heavily weighted on who's got the best rapport with their staff to make good choices coming down today's run.
That's right. It's definitely going to be brighter on that top section as they make that traverse, that area where Matt got into trouble, that compression and the traverse across over onto basketball. Once they dive in there, I think the light's going to be a little bit darker. So definitely going to play into visibility while they're on course. And I wonder what's happening at the start right now. They start hearing that there may be some issues with flat light. It's been so bright. Are the athletes having to change their lenses? What are they going to have to do? So we got to find out.
Is it for somebody in particular? For your family, yeah, you bet. Someone chat with me?
So there you are, right at the start hut. The U.S.'s Chris Devlin Young running into some issues. Our next skier will be the Austrian, Roman Rabel. He's staged. That's got to mean he's got a course clear. They will probably hold him until the next start sequence, which means the clock's got to go through its entire cycle. And there he is on course, wearing bib number 53, finishing 4th in Thursday's Supergiant Slalom from Austria, Roman Rabel.
All eyes on the hill right now. This guy is so aggressive, so exciting, so exhilarating. You can see he made a bit of a mistake there because he was going 110%, and I know he's going to go 120% now after that little bobble. He's in the green. This is good because George Kreider from Germany had a solid run. Look at Rabel just hanging out there. This guy is an animal with no fear. He knows the hill well. He's had good results here before. Coming over basketball here. Real tight, real confident. This is a solid run. A little bit of air there. I thought we were going to be getting light. This is good. A little bit of lights out and bit of a surface change here. How will he manage? Running deep, but still in the green. This is good. Coming over coaches. Nice move there. He knew what he wanted to do from inspection there. Coming in totally blind. Knows that he's got a gas pedal right now. He has to hammer on and give everything to this bottom section. He feels the crowd. He's giving it. Will he make it? Nice and clean. Hanging it on so deep on that dick. The crowd's happy. He's in the green. Rabel, I believe, was third place in the Super Combined. Sochi 2014. Guy knows how to throw down in slalom, so expect big things from him as the day goes on.
Really interesting, just watching how, as the skiers come through the finish line and lay the ski over, how that snow is starting to come off in sheets. It was nice and dry this morning for the first grouping of skiers. Now all of a sudden the moisture is coming in. That's attributable to the amount of sunshine we've had. So that's got to be impacting the track further up the hill as well, as we see our next skier coming at us, Japan's Taiki Mori.
And this guy is an expert in Super G. He is so consistent, so strong. Probably one of the most decorated Super G skiers of our time.
Mori coming in with a 7th-place finish on Thursday's Super G. Find out what he's got to offer up on today's speed portion of the men's Super Combined sitting category here at the 2015 IPC
and the
Alpine
surface
Championships.
changes playing a bit of a role for these guys. You know, right at the top of that last pitch, really tough for Mori to recover the speed here. I know he's going to try. I know he's still going to be a hunter for this afternoon slalom, but unfortunately, I think that mistake's going to cost him an opportunity to have taken Rabel down from first spot in the first run today.
Risk reward, right, Josh?
And it's so tough with these changing conditions right now. It's visibility to see the ice is a bit of an issue, I'm sure, for these athletes. Good finish for Taiki Mori. Certainly not what he was hoping for in the start, but that dog might hunt.
1:20 flat, the finish time for Japan's Taiki Mori.
His teammate up next, Akira Kano, also of Japan, obviously, being a teammate. He's a hunter in the speed. Akira Kano is one of the more dominating forces in downhill Super G. For years, people could not touch Akira Kano in the speed. Let's see if he's got what it takes today. Has he unlocked the riddle of today's Super G track set by American Kevin Jardine? And Kevin likes big, fast runs. Now, it looks like we're looking at the fence, Drew. What did I miss? Uh-oh.
We'll have to watch the replay just to make sure. You folks have got to remember, this is the World Championships. You don't want to leave anything back home in the tickle trunk. This is all got or nothing, and you can see him just getting hung up a little bit on the switch and a long slide down into the net. He did give a wave. I believe everything's all right.
That's an interesting feature Akira was coming into. It's a bit of a Daytona turn, so a bit of a bank turn that the athletes aren't sure if or how much air they're going to be catching off of that. So a bit of a challenge there for Kano. Really a bit of a disappointment, bit of a bummer.
We've just been informed there's going to be a hold. He's gone into the net. Akira Kano is just fine, but he did a good job of introducing himself to the B netting. So it will take about 2 minutes or so before we're back with more race action. Once again, we want to thank all the spectators for coming out and joining us today. Thank you so much for joining us here at Panorama at the finish line of this year's Super Combined in the men's competition. The gals a little earlier on. Don't forget, we're back with slalom, and you can stay right where you are or get these seats back after lunch and come and watch the finish. They'll be coming right at us. You'll get to see tons of slalom action starting at 2:30 this afternoon right
Drew,
here
this
at Panorama.
is a huge day for the athletes with Super G speed in the morning, slalom in the afternoon, bit of a changeover for the sit skiers. A lot of them are going to be changing their equipment to allow them to make a quicker turn in the slalom and manage the rhythm changes that they're going to experience. So there is a bit of a break for the athletes to change their gear over, have a little snack, come back up, inspect this afternoon's track. As the athletes, as the crowd, what time do we want to be back up here for the start time of Run 2 slalom?
2:30 start.
2:30 start. We'll advise you if there's any changes in the schedule, but so far, you know, we haven't had any major delays. I think we'll be on time today.
So, Josh, tell me what happens right now for the athletes that have actually completed their speed portion of today's Super Combine. They go grab a bite to eat, change some equipment. Do they get out and actually run some slalom gates to get their head wrapped around the change in the radius and the rapidity of those turns?
It's a super busy day. You know, as soon as I finish my Super G run, I'm heading right down to the lodge, grab a snack, change over my sit ski, which takes about 15 minutes to change the suspension, the posture, and the settings. Every athlete has different requirements. Maybe a single leg skier has a different set of outriggers, or, you know, everybody's going to have slightly modified equipment for technical versus speed. So you need to be really smart with your time. Then, yes, you do come back up. You warm up, free ski, do an inspection, and then if you're lucky, they might have a training course for you to get warmed up so that you're ready for that rhythm change.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, this is Panorama. There'll be a training course. Don't you worry about that. We'll be able to close off the top section from about basketball down, and my bet is that the athletes are going to be able to drop in at basketball, and they'll have a nice couple of slalom courses set for warm-ups, leading them down to the start ramp for this afternoon's slalom portion of this year's Super Combined.
And just zipping right back to where we are at this moment, we still have a huge lineup of contenders in this Super G for today's full event for Super Combined. Up next from France, Frédéric Francois, who was second in yesterday's Super G. This guy's been hunting for a while. He's working hard, skiing well. Really nice to see his efforts pay off yesterday at such a big event, the 2015 IPC Alpine Skiing World Championships.
So now this has got to be tough. Francois has been in the start gate. He's already gone through his warm-up sequence. He's already got
Racers
his,
on course, Drew.
Yep.
Looking
so
up at the big screen here, we are firing on all cylinders.
Has that delay affected him? Well, we're going to find out right now.
You know, it may have, but I don't think so. Some athletes really thrive on that moment of calm before the storm.
Francois came second in Thursday's Supergiant Slalom, so he's tasted the podium. I'm sure he'd love to get another little bite of it today. We'll find out how he fares as he maneuvers his way through the Super G set here at Panorama.
He's running clean. You'll notice he's the first athlete today on two skis, so he's on a bi-ski. This machine, the Tessier, is out of France, so they have technology at their side. It's a bit of a different way to come down the mountain, but Frédéric has mastered it and is certainly looking very fast for us right now. See, he's managing these icy sections. Twice the edge power to really dive in there. A little bit of a slough, but he was able to stay upright, keep his speed. Maybe the bi-ski is an advantage on today's track.
We're going to find out. It stood him in very good stead on Thursday. We'll find out if it's going to do the same thing today. Following Francois will be America's Tyler Walker, followed by Germany's Thomas Nolte. Here we go on the final couple of turns. Here comes the Frenchman.
He's got speed. He's got fans. Let's show him our love. Second place yesterday, and today he is fast. I don't know if it's fast enough, though. Let's look at our scoreboard. That's good enough for second place today. No, third place for Frédéric Francois. He's a strong slalom skier. He's got to catch up to George Kreider of Germany in second position currently and unofficially. First place of Austria, Roman Rabel, who I know is strong in slalom as well.
That was a 1:18.74 for Francois.
On course right now, Tyler Walker, United States of America, always a contender. So good to see Tyler charging here today. He's fighting hard to get aerodynamic. He has less mass than most skiers, so he makes up for it with just gigantic angles that seem impossible, but yet he makes it a regular.
Talking with Tyler a little bit earlier on in the week, still rehabbing that left shoulder from an injury suffered a little while back, but he says he's pretty close to 100% and really stoked to be here at Panorama participating in this year's Worlds.
Coming over coaches with good speed. He did get sucked down a little bit low coming into coaches. Big turn there, but he was able to recover well. Didn't lose much speed. Now he's coming down to us. Let him know we want Tyler Walker to be fast today. What has he got for us?
On the final couple of turns, here he comes from the USA.
Finding his
Tyler
wallet. Watch the
Walker.
tuck come up. Tyler Walker. Look at that control. You know, he did not want to do a home run slide there, but he still managed. He is such an athletic, talented free skier, as well accomplished ski racer. Puts him in a 4th position right now, and Tyler knows how to ski slalom, so he's hunting.
1:19.69 the finish time for the U.S.'s Tyler Walker. On course next from Germany, Thomas Nolte.
Thomas is really hanging it out here. He is a tech skier. Watch for him in GS and slalom, but really wants this. Super Combined he is again a top skier, and he is skiing at his limit in the Prashberger sit ski, which is designed for technical skiing.
Thomas Nolte, a 9th place finish on Thursday in the Super G. Definitely one to watch today. And as Josh just said, if his rig is geared towards slalom, he could be someone to contend with this afternoon.
He is a determined and ferocious slalom skier. For sure, he'll be making up time there.
No, Nolte drifting a little bit low.
There's a sigh of relief from the other athletes in the crowd knowing that Nolte is that force to be reckoned with in slalom. But of course, everybody wants to see him come down. Everybody wants a solid performance. Good work by Nolte. A little bit of a bummer there on that slick deck.
Whoop, there it is.
Bad luck for Nolte. Unfortunately, he will not have an opportunity to participate in this afternoon's slalom portion of today's Super Combined. That moves us to the Croatian, Dino Sokolovic.
From there, we move to Kenji Natsumi from Japan, very strong skier, followed by his teammate Takaji Suzuki, who is definitely a threat in the Super Combined. Suzuki is one of the finest slalom skiers on the circuit, really reinventing how we approach the sport. Beautiful skier. Followed by Sarah Moore of France, which is our top seed, and then we move out of the top seed. We have Dietmar Dorn of Austria, strong skier, great contributor to the sport. Canada's Kurt Otway will be following, followed by Corey Peters. Ladies and gentlemen, Corey Peters having a fantastic week so far. First in downhill, first in Super G, and though he's not in the top seed for Super Combined, I will not count out Corey Peters today. Followed by Yasmin Bamber and Joshua Elliott of the United States.
This is setting up to be a great session. The last couple of skiers in today's men's Super Combined sitting category. Don't go anywhere. We've still got a couple of the top seed to go. And then with a few, as Josh just said, Corey Peters, first. You know he's got to be salivating at the prospect of getting a crack at this Super G course and hopefully being respectable in the slalom. All right, ensuring that the course is in a race-ready condition for our next skier.
I'm quite excited for our next athlete coming down the track, Dino Skokolovic from Croatia. Phenomenal slalom skier, again, reinventing the way we look at the sport. Beautiful to watch. He has a Super G to contend with. Had a solid performance the other day on Thursday for the Super G standalone. This guy, he's somebody to watch for. I like to call him the Godfather.
Croatian team having a very, very solid technical program, both here with Dino and on the able-bodied side with the Kostelic family coming to mind. Always very, very deadly in slalom and giant slalom. So let's find out what Dino's going to bring to the course. when he gets a green light.
The clouds have lifted. The sun is back. What do we have for Kenji Natsumi?
So you can see on our crawler that we've got a course hold. Not quite sure what we got. We'll see if we can grab one of our Alpine Canada folks and get a little information as to what the hold is for.
I see Dino on the big screen. It looks like he was flagged off or had a bit of a mishap. I'm not sure. Lost it on the camera feed down here, folks. Sorry about that. But he is now in a very controlled side slip down. I'm hoping for his sake he was flagged and he will have an opportunity for a rerun, but he may have also just had some tough luck on these varying conditions. Again, the surface is perfect, folks, but the light is coming in and out, and that can sometimes really throw an athlete off. From Japan, we have Kenji Natsumi, very successful last week at the NORAM downhill event and Super G event in Kimberley, BC, standing on top of and side his teammates on the podium multiple occasions. Very solid. Did he get the information from his two teammates ahead of him? I know they communicate incredibly well, athlete to athlete, giving course reports as they just want to see their fellow countrymen put down a performance of a lifetime. So far, Kenji, looking solid. Really railing that ski, not a lot of spray off of it. Huge angles, really aggressive, attacking today's course. Nicely done.
Just getting word from course that Croatia's Dina Sokolovic did not complete, so he's gone out and we'll have a DNF put beside his name.
Bummer for Dino, giving more room for guys like Kenji right now, who is, wow. You know, he knows he needs to attack the bottom half of the hill, and he is. A little bit deep there. It gets turny between basketball and coaches. The athletes don't get that in inspection. They might just find themselves in trouble there like Kenji. But he's making up for it, ladies and gentlemen. He's found the gas pedal. He knows he needs to be fast. It looks like he's having a lot of fun coming down here. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise. Kenji Natsume of Japan.
Look at this, just flying right at us. Here he comes, Japan's Kenji Natsume.
50. Not enough for top spot, but he will be hunting this afternoon.
A 1:19.57.
So now we mentioned in between basketball and coaches, things get a little bit swingy. It's turny, it's icy. A guy like Takeshi Suzuki coming up next has the ability to really lay that ski over and take advantage of that type of course set. What does Suzuki have for us right now? Big angles, smooth skiing. Suspension soaking up some of that terrain there, really solid coming into basketball. Nice early change, clean move over there. See how hard he attacks this next pitch. Critical section between basketball and coaches. How much will you risk? Got to be smart through here. Nice early setup. He got the memo. Clean turn through there. Yeah. Coming off of coaches, smooth, strong, fast.
Managing to handle that section of the terrain beautifully. Look at him set up here. Last couple of turns.
A very, very strong run for Suzuki, and he is one of the strongest slalom skiers on the circuit. He's not in the green. He has a bit of time to make up in slalom, but no doubt in my mind he has the ability to do that. Someone to watch for this afternoon.
1:19.97 for Japan's Takeshi Suzuki.
Ladies and gentlemen, we still have a handful of skiers left up on course from France, Cyril Moore.
So, Josh, you mentioned that Francois was utilizing some rather unusual technology in his sit ski. What about Cyril?
looks like he is on the bi-ski as well. The French have put a lot of energy into this, and it seems to be paying off. Running a tight line, watching them rattle the gates there. The bi-ski isn't as agile, though it be more stable. You see he had a little bit of trouble coming over basketball. Things didn't hook up as quickly as he was hoping for, but nice and stable through this midsection coming into coaches. Not having any trouble with the swingier turns there. A bit of an icy surface.
What?
Got
He's
our little
fast.
cameras.
What can I say? He looks fast right now. What does the clock tell us? Coming into the final home stretch, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise. France's Cyril Moore.
Cyril across the line. His finish time for the speed portion of today's Super Combined. 1 minute, 20.53 seconds.
Not enough for top three, but it's going to be enough for this afternoon. He's playing hard. He looks happy. Great performance for Cyril Moore. Currently in first place, Austria's Roman Rabel. Second place, Germany's George Kreider. Third place from France, Frederic Francois. We have some great athletes ahead of us, including Austria's very own Dietmar Dorn.
Dorn on course, folks, and get ready to make some noise after Dietmar's run because Canada's coming at you in the form of Kurt Otway.
Dietmar was hammering down there. He was pushing the line as hard as he could. He got deep. He got too deep. There wasn't enough room left on that surface for him to get around the gate. Big bummer for Dietmar. Looking good on that part of the Super G. Not today. Up next, Canada's very own Kurt Otway. Training partner of mine for the last couple of years. A really strong skier. Made huge gains in a short period of time. Knows the hill well. Let's see how Kurt does for us today.
Had a little bit of an equipment glitch for the Super G on Thursday. You'll notice these skiers, many of them running with a fairing on the front.
On
Kurt's
course,
came off.
Kurt Otway.
He's on now.
Strong on the first pitch. Really attacking. And it is steep and icy up there, folks. That is an intimidating pitch. Coming through into fourth tower. There's a lot of terrain here. It is up and down, side to side. Some followays. He's attacking. He's staying on it. He's got good speed. Not the cleanest turn for Kurt, but he is holding his speed together really well. Coming off of fourth. Smart move, getting a little bit of elevation coming into this Daytona. Strong, smooth, smart skiing from Otway. This is good. This is very good. He's coming over the flat section here, coming into basketball. He is not holding anything back right now. He looks fast. Over basketball, smart move. He knows what he wants to do from his inspection. Little bit of error, nice. Now does he remember, it swings in here, Kurt. These are big turns. This is icy snow, but he knows it. He knows it. Setting up early, not the turn he was looking for, but still strong, still strong. Now this is where Kurt can really make up speed. He knows this bottom section. There's a lot of energy to be found in here. You have to be looking. Big angles from Otway, coming into the finish, coming in hot. That's okay, that's okay. He's managed it. Little bit of a sharp spot there, but he's managing it. He's got good speed, good energy coming down the hill. Couple little mistakes for Otway, but he's got to be happy with this. 122.43. All right.
You watch Kurt come through there.
Let's show some love for Kurt Otway. This is a big building stage for him right now. What a run, Kurt. Good one. Thanks for the show, bud. Up next, New Zealand's Corey Peters. Looked like he made a bit of a mistake there, but recovered incredibly well. That's racing. You make mistakes when you're taking chances. He's recovered well. He's holding good speed, and he's diving into these turns. He's looking for every little bit coming into basketball. Smart, a little bit of a different line. He took a bit of a higher approach there, but it seems to pay off. Coming off smooth, a little bit of air. Now, did Peters get the memo that it is turny and icy coming into coach's corner? Oh my God, this is incredibly smooth. He's not in the green, but he's still fast. Lower section, he knows he's got to go for it.
Peter's super smooth through this section right here. As Josh mentioned, now's the time. You got to pick it up. You're coming into view. You got to straighten out the line right here. This is where it's all or nothing. Corey Peters on the line from New Zealand. His time for the Super G portion, 1:16.23.
This is good for second position. Oh, he is only fractions off of our current leader, Roman Rabel. Ooh, 3/10 between Corey and Roman right now. Third place now is, do the math here, George Kreider from Germany. We have a very, very tight race, folks. Remember, everything is unofficial.
2 skiers left, folks. We've got the U.S.'s Jasmine.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's a little more of a
Bamber.
gap. There's a little more of a cushion for Roman Rabel. He's 1:14.69. Corey Peters 1:16.23. These guys are both going to hunt in the slalom coming up this afternoon. On course, we have from the United States, Jasmine Bamber.
Yasmin looking really strong in this top section.
He's skiing smooth. Yaz is a very, very talented skier, and it's good to see him come back into his own right now. A lot of momentum on his side. Bit of equipment troubles last year, but he has seemed to unlock that puzzle. He is looking smooth as butter coming down. And good news, folks, this guy's a slalom specialist. So he makes it down in good speed. He will be a hunter this afternoon.
2:30, the slated start time for this afternoon's slalom portion of today's Super Combined event here at Panorama. Great to see Yasmin hanging it out there. There's the turn right there that's been giving some of the athletes trouble. The timing is so important as they affect the switch of edges as they go over a roll.
And remember, that hill is taking them away. It's sucking them down. It wants to pull them away from that turn. They have to fight so hard against the natural forces in the mountains trying to pull them off the hill. Good solid run by Yaz.
1:23.10, the finish time for the U.S.'s Yasmin Bamber. His countryman, the final skier today, will be Josh Elliott.
And I know Josh has got a lot of family here supporting him in the crowd. There's going to be a lot of friends, family, mums and dads, aunts and uncles, grandparents, making noise for our final skier, Joshua Elliott.
This is Joshua's first World Championship, so he's got to be pumped for this. Elliott making nice work of that midsection of the course. We'll find out how he handles this big sweep and turn. Here he comes. It's all about prepping for the move, coming over basketball right here. As Josh has been telling us, now the course starts to swing side to side. Yeah, you want to be fast, but you got to ski smart. You have to keep your head and wits about you. Otherwise, you're going to get pitched sideways. We see the last couple of our skiers getting a little bit light on that fourth, fifth to last gate. Josh hanging in there. Past coaches coming at us right now. Watch this breakover, see how we manage it. Right here, this is the move. Nice and smooth. Nailed that. 3 gates to go for the United States. Joshua Elliott.
Solid performance for the United States of America right now. Great run. I expect great things as well from Josh this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our Super G portion of Super Combined today. We are resuming at 2:30 for the slalom portion. Want to give you a quick recap here. Top to bottom, women Super Combined, run 1, visually impaired, First place from Australia, Melissa Perrin. Second place from Russia, Alexandra Frantseva. Third place, United States of America, Daniel Umstead. Very close race. That could be mixed up real easy in the finals. Women standing, one run. Run one. Marie Boucher of France throwing down a stomper, 120-115. So 120-15. Second place, Andrea Rothfuss of Germany. Third place, Maria Papalova, Russia. Women sitting, run one, Claudia Loesch, Austria. Anna Schaffelhuber, Germany. Tight race, barely a second separating those two. Third, Laurie Stevens, United States of America. Men's VI, run one. Ivan Franstav, Russia. I made Mac Marcoux very uncomfortable asking him to pick who he thought would be fastest today. He was right. Second place, Mark Batham, USA. Third place, Miroslav Haros, Slovakia. Men standing, run one, Marcus Ultra, Austria. Stomping a 1:14.79, making a bit of a gap for second place. Teammate, Matthias Lanzinger, Austria. Close, he's right in there with third place, Alexei Bugiev, Russia. Men sitting, final category, run one, super combined. Austria's Roman Rabel, 1:14.69. The fastest of all the skiers today. Corey Peters, New Zealand, second position. Little bit of room, just over a second between first and second for Corey Peters of New Zealand. I believe he has it in his tank. Third, George Kreider, Germany. Very tight and incredibly strong slalom skier. Congratulations to the athletes. Congratulations to all the course workers, volunteers, everybody at Alpine Canada for giving us 3 days of flawless speed racing, downhill, Super G, and the Super G portion of the Super Combined. Phenomenal. This is very rare in the world of ski racing. We had a course that was almost 2 kilometers long for the Super G, over 2 kilometers long for the downhill. This is a massive amount of real estate for the volunteers to keep up with. Thank you guys all. Drew, back to you.
Want to send a big shout out to my good man, Josh Dueck, for the color, huh? He keep that live? I can hardly wait for this afternoon. They're going to put the short skis on and do some damage, slalom style. 2:30 start. We'll be coming right down Old Timers Run, looking up from the finish line. The course will start off on the right, and I'm sure they'll maneuver it right smack into the middle because they don't have to worry about terrain. They can use every inch of it.
Lots to choose from here, ladies and gentlemen. Go grab a coffee at Lucy's, a little snack over there, great cafe. Maybe you want a beer and a little different T-bar atmosphere. Don't be late, 2:30. Have yourself a good time, folks. Panorama 2015 IPC Alpine Skiing World Championships.
Hope to see you all at 2:30.
Right, I just want to remind everybody that when I recap today's top 3 for each category, it's unofficial. I'm Josh Dueck. It's not all there. Don't trust me. The official results will be awaiting for you at the end of the day. I'll leave it here with the microphone and my water bottle, but I'm hoping the sled driver's here. Well, I'm going to start making my way down. If I can get a sled ride down